most people don't understand. Like they're literally one streak of luck away from righting every wrong, overcoming every loss, and being a winner. Think about champs. Like it just takes one champ fight for you to forever be called a champion. One of the best phrases in fighting, someone told me, they're like, you're not overtrained, you're under-recovered. And then there is a great saying I learned in football. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. Well, offense wins fights, defense wins belts. That's a fact. Bro, I don't swing wild, and go nuts. How defensively sound are you? And that's where you're gonna get hit, you're gonna get wet in a fight. Can you swim in deep water?
All right, guys, welcome to the Athletepreneur Podcast. My name is Steven Yee. I am your host today. I'm excited to be able to have our guest today with us, Vance Elrod. He is a professional MMA fighter. He's also went into business and created 4 companies, the perfect athletepreneur. So Vance, thank you for hopping on, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
For those that don't know you, what is your story? How'd you get started? How'd you get into fighting and then in business? What's your background?
Fighting, just passion. I was put on this earth to fight. And then I got my ass beat in a fight and found a product that helped heal my brain. And then I started facilitating that to other people. But it's a little bit deeper. I was very business minded before I started my business.
Okay.
I had a come to like Jesus moment in Australia, training with Alexander Volkanovski, where I realized I was chasing kind of a pipe dream and that my life would suck after fighting. And it like put the fear of God in me that I need to be able to facilitate and provide for my family one day. And I can't do it with just fighting,
How long did you train for fighting before you founded your company?
Oh, we're a decade in already. Yeah.
So like, because I actually am curious, like, how much do you make as a fighter when you're on the come up, right?
So I fight this weekend.
Right.
Like $700. After 13 years of work, yeah, $700.
So what were you doing while you were fighting to provide for the family, all that stuff?
Well, I had a cool story. I was like really bad in debt, but at the time I was working construction full time.
Okay.
So at one point I was doing 6 to 8 hours construction. I was training twice a day, and I was starting a business. And so it was a wild time in my life. I grinded, but the best analogy for business I ever heard, especially in the right business, is it's like an airplane. Like it's a lot to get the plane off the runway. But once it's up in the air, it's like you got to do some shit to bring it back down.
Right, right.
So it's always going to take effort to keep it going, but like it's maintenance versus like you growing it are 2 different things. Like we were just talking about this before.
Right.
Like you get bored if you do it right.
That's what I wanted to ask you, right? So like so many people that I know, they have a full-time career. Like you said, for you, that was construction. Like other people, they might be nurses.
Yep.
And they have this idea or they have this side hustle or like in what I've built with the insurance business, like sales.
Yeah.
How did you carve out time? Because everybody's excuse is like, I don't have the time to do that. I got my job, it's 8 hours here. I got my extracurriculars. I got my family. I got this. Where do I have time to build something else? How did you carve out time to go build out Meraki?
You want the real answer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Shut the fuck up. You have time. Like
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
Absolutely.
Like staying up till 2 a.m. on PubMed researching or, just like there's a will, there's a way. Bottom
Right.
line. It's not to be like too harsh on it because like it is rough. It is rough, but that's part of the process. That's why not everybody can make it. And that's why I got to blow up because I paid the price. But you do have time, and it doesn't take as much as you think, And the other part is people will play business, they won't do business, and they think they need the best logo and the best things, and they miss the levers that will actually generate income. So for me, I just kind of took a step back because I didn't know business, I didn't know formality behind business, I didn't know what a KPI was, I didn't know shit about honestly, I cowboyed it, but it was the best way because I really just learn what are we doing? We're providing a value and people are trading their money for that value. Okay, how do I find the people? Well, those are leads. Like, oh, okay, well, I market it. And they're like, well, oh, these people can market for me. Like, I just always thought about it backwards. Like I was solving the equation, instead of like with the answer rather than the problem. And that just really worked for me. So people lose track, I think. And so they're not grabbing the right levers. They're worried about logos and bullshit.
But that's the correct answer though, right? Like I look at it, like you have people that go to business school.
Yep.
That are taught by business professors that don't own a business, which is fascinating to me, but whatever. And they can tell you how to write a business plan. They can tell you how to do all these things, but I'm kind of like the guy though, let me just go wing it and do it.
Yeah.
Because execution is way better than paper,
Yep.
right? And so like your first company, Meraki Medicinal, how did you start it? Why did you start it? How did that all come about?
So I was in Australia at the time. It was 2019. And I asked Alexander Volkanovski, was fighting for his first title fight, what he was making. And then I shit my pants. I was like, I was like, what? Like, I literally was like, wow, I just took a month away from my girlfriend, my animals, my job. I'm in debt. It's like, what, like to chase this dream, and that's the payoff. And I was like, what the hell? So for like 24 hours, dude, I was like nail biting. Like, I fucked up, dude. I wasted 10 years of my life. Should have gotten a solar and fucking Cutco like everyone else. I was driving around in Teslas now, and like all my friends who were like in business for 10 years, I was flipping. And then the next day, something clicked, and I was like, wait, Sean O'Malley drives a Lamborghini, and he's not even top 10. And I was like, this moment hit where I was like, oh, we're brands. They're a brand. We're associating our brands. We're using their platform. We're garnering attention. That attention we can then use to facilitate a service in order to provide value to get money. Like, it just all clicked like that. I got like a little autism with it. I was like, oh, I need to learn business. And so I started, at that time, I was researching everything like fights. I'd watch fights or I'd watch nutrition and trying to increase my performance, trying to make cutting weight easier. I'm natural. I was fighting guys who were on roids. I got my face shattered by a guy on roids. It's like, fighting is brutal. And so I wanted every edge I could, and I was doing it through education. But I noticed like after that day, I started learning about business, started listening to Alex Hormozy. I started finding podcasts about business. And instead of doing 100% like fight studies and nutrition, it was like 50-50. And so for 3 years, I was studying business. And finally, I came up with an idea of me starting a supplement company called Meraki Medicinal. And it was going to be a pre-workout company. And it was going to be what I wanted at the time, which was the world's best pre-workout that I could use with fighting. Pre-workout at the time made me puffy. It would make me gas. It made me slow, but it made me look good. It was a cool pump, and I got a buzz. I was like, oh, it made me want to enjoy lifting weights. But I was like, I need something that will improve my performance, my VO2 max. Right. So I formulated this fucking pre-workout, dude, to the nines. Called it Zeus Juice. It was the best thing in the world, dude. It was great. It was like gave you a pump, but you could still work out. Your veins were going nuts. We had this crazy caffeine that had delayed release, so it was this smooth takeoff. You didn't crash after. It was beautiful. I took a $13,000 loan, $12,000 loan out to buy inventory, and we ended up not even selling it. It was so funny. Yeah. So when I was starting this, this was 2022 now, I was starting my pre-workout company. I had my professional debut, and this is where I fought the guy who popped for steroids. And in the fight, easy fight, having a great time. I had a lot of hype coming off my amateur career. I was a 2-time world champion, and like we were going to go to the UFC. And I was fighting another amateur champion, and he was coming off a bunch of knockouts. And he knocked me out. So shattered my face 3 ways with one shot. I find out he was enhanced till about 6 months after when he popped dirty, which sucked, but it made sense because it was one shot. And my orbital wall shattered, the fat from my eye fell. And then the worst part was, it wasn't just the one shot. My face already shattered and I curled up. It was the 30 extra shots after. So the ref just let it go.
How's that even possible?
We were fighting in Montana. So it's just like, so my guy came up beforehand and was like, hey, if you drop him, don't try to rush the finish. You might gas, because like the refs will let people die. So we were seeing guys like eat like 30 shots. They're like already knocked out, and the guy's getting 4 or 5 more shots off before the ref stops.
Wow.
So we were like, holy shit. So I was on the other end of that. So as the second the fight was done, I look up and the cage is spinning. And I was like, oh my gosh, like traumatic brain injury. So I did my thing. I went home and I started researching more about concussions. I already had a great concussion protocol because that was one of my biggest fears, was CTE with fighting. I want to be able to remember all the cool things I did in this life. I've done some great things already. What would that be worth, to have a family and me not even remember it?
Right.
So I had all these notes scattered. I put them together. And I made a concussion protocol ebook. So one, I can hand out to other people, like all my friends who fight, et cetera, and help people. But the other part was, so I didn't have to go through my notes every time I got a concussion when I'm concussed, and trying to like match together, like, oh, green tea extract, like EGCG, like this is good for the brain, et cetera. And I sent it out to people for them to have and to review. And I sent it to a biohacking friend, and he was like, hey, why didn't you put methylene blue in there? And I was like, oh, I kind of read about it, but you didn't see too much. He was like, go look again. And this is back in the day when methylene blue wasn't popular. You had to get past the first page of Google to find the research, and found this amazing compound that does a lot of things. It fixes your cellular energy system on a root level, which has cascading effects throughout the body. But one of the biggest things is it helps repair the brain. And so I ordered it 7 days later, used it, profound effects, healed from my concussion.
Wow.
Beyond like the speed I've ever healed from a concussion, let alone the worst one in my life. And then my life got better and better and better while I stayed on it. And that's when I was kind of like, holy shit, this is crazy. But what really clicked was I would be posting my pre-workout that I made. And I was at the time $47,000 in debt. So it's like, I need to move inventory. So I made my website, started marketing it, posting to my following. And 2-3 likes, you know, and I was doing these like profound, look at my veins before, look at them after, all these things. And no one cared. And then I'd put blue shit in water and I'd get 20 DMs. What's this blue stuff? What's this blue stuff? And I was like, okay. Like,
you're onto something.
I was like, test, don't guess. Like, we know what people are into. And I was like getting tired of telling people how to make it. You got to order powder from this place in Europe. And then you got to like constitute it. And then you got to put it in a vial. And you got to start this way and store it. And I had that moment where I was like, why don't I just sell this? And then methylene blue was a malaria medication. And it's used in Alzheimer's clinical trials, a lot of things. And so the FDA is watching it. And I was like hearing horror stories, people selling it during COVID and getting popped.
Wow.
And like PayPal's disappearing with 70K in them, you know, and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I'm not touching this. And it was like a week later. And this is my biggest point that I tell everyone is like, there's 2 sayings that I love, which is don't sprint towards a goal, march to greatness. And the second one is passion before profit. It was a week later and I was reading Amazon reviews on methylene blue and read a review that just moved me emotionally. I was like, fuck that, I'm facilitating this. And that's how we started Meraki Medicinal as a methylene blue company. So we did sell our Zeus juice inventory. It was cool. People loved it. But we went hero SKU on methylene blue. And that was the start of it all.
Right. You have some
yes.
Right there too. And so like, I bought the product because I genuinely want to try and test it on myself.
I didn't know you bought it. But
yeah, hell yeah. I'm definitely in. Well, that's the other thing. I look at it like, what I've learned from all my mentors in business, they say, if you're really genuinely someone's friend, you should buy their product instead of asking for the homie hookup.
Facts. Always.
Right. So I'm kind of like.
I got a good point on that, though, but continue.
I want you to hit on it.
Yeah.
Please.
No, well, it's just when I started business and I was watching other people start business, I hear the complaint a lot, like, oh, your friends don't support your business, like, and all that. And it's like, motherfucker, you got to learn how to sell to strangers.
Correct.
What did everyone do out of high school? We had this thing called Cutco. It was basically a pyramid scheme, I think. And it was like...
selling knives?
Yeah, you had to go sell knives, right? So they would send it, and everyone did the same thing. They sold all their family and friends. They would get their money, and they're like, hell yeah. And the guy was like, I was sitting in your chair 6 months ago. You'll be here, you know? And then they can't sell to strangers, you know?
Right.
And so, yeah, your friends should support you, but also, like, I didn't bitch about it. When no one supported me at first, I sold to strangers. And, like, that's what you need to be able to do.
We're going to touch on that because I want to parallel how much that is very close to how we think about our business.
Yeah.
But why is your methylene blue product completely different than everybody else on the market? Because you guys sell that product bananas. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I went on the website and I'm like, and this is one of the questions I want to ask you is like, I thought there was going to be a product suite. And then I'm like, no, there is methylene blue and then there's black seed oil and that's it. And I'm like, you've dominated from like the very in and out approach, Chick-fil-A approach, instead of like McDonald's, let me just offer everything approach, right? What business decision was that for you to be able to do that?
Well, originally, I mean, we made a tallow balm with it and then I got a lawsuit, so I had to stop selling that. Fuck you, Denmark. And basically, fucking millions gone because of that lawsuit, so it sucks. But it is what it is. But it was just, Alex Hormozi touches on this, and I loved it, and I just did it naturally. I didn't know it's don't get the woman in the red dress. So he's referring to the Matrix when the guy Neo's walking, he sees a girl in the red dress, he loses focus, and was like, hey, you could die. And we just grabbed a lever, and it worked, and I was passionate about it, so why grab other levers, you know? So we were making other products and other SKUs, and they would kind of work, and I was like, man, why not just grow this, you know? And so a good rule of thumb is like, if you're not doing like at least 100K in a sales channel a month, I would say $1 million. Like, don't go and pull other levers. Don't try to add new SKUs. And so like you really have this SKU nailed. So we became the #1 methylene blue company in the world. And even now we offer black seed oil, and it doesn't make sense. Like it was kind of a dumb play. Honestly, I've made big mistakes in business, and the black seed oil was a mistake. Like, we shouldn't be selling it. It took away focus. There was no need. It's about 10% of our revenue. It's amazing. It's great, but you can do anything you want to do. You just can't do everything you want to do.
Correct. So
that was it. So naturally, we gravitated towards methylene blue and became a methylene blue company. And when we focused on that, we became the #1 methylene blue company in the world by doing that.
I love that. So like, I came from a sales company where you can talk to your friends and family, the very MLM way, or you can purchase leads and talk to strangers. And so in your business, you talked about selling to strangers, which in my opinion, customer acquisition is the biggest arm of any company, because if you have a phenomenal product, but it can't move, you're out of business.
Correct, yeah.
So how did you study business, learn marketing, learn how to advertise the product? How did you move product initially when you started this?
FAFO. My guy. I mean, so I did my 3 years of research, and Alex Hormozi was just like what I gravitate to. He made it so easy to digest. Actually, I'm in their acquisition program now, and I learned a lot. It was worth it. But like, I literally only did that because I was like, you made me millions. Like,
Right.
here's your 30K. You made me millions.
Right.
Bro. I even told him, I met him. I was like, this is just my thank you. Like, I have nothing else to give you, bro. And then he tried to buy my company for 40%. I told him no. But yeah, it was good. They offered. But basically, I had my general kind of understanding of what we were doing. And then I was just like, you put the time in and you will stumble around, you'll find your answer. So our first big customer acquisition thing we came from was me going viral on Twitter was cool, like a couple times. And I'd make my sales here and there and like preach about it. But the first time an affiliate posted, I had a guy post and we made like $10,000 in a day. And I shit the floor. You know, I was like, well, like what? Like what? You know, because he had a following, he liked my product, and he didn't even do it for affiliate, he just posted my product. And that's when it clicked. I was like, oh, affiliate marketing. Yep. So we had it happen again. And then I garnered all these affiliates in a niche market. And we just started like low, medium, and high level affiliates. And we took over that market, and taking over one niche market is all you need. I mean, I'm talking esoteric health space on Twitter is what I took over, and we were doing 100K months at that point. And it was just beautiful.
How did you build the relationships with the affiliates? Like, did you message them outbound? Everything was like, hey man, this is what I'm doing. Like,
let me send you some product. Yeah. Oh, I saw you engage in my post. Let me send you some product. And it's cool. Hey, do you want an affiliate? By the way, did you like it? Give you 20% of the sale. It was that simple, you know? Just did the legwork. And the cool thing is, once you get 5, 6, 7 affiliates like around someone, usually there's a network. People usually follow the same people. Right. And you see 2 or 3 of your favorite creators posting the same thing. You know, they're all wearing Gymshark. Like 3 guys, you're gonna be like, oh, Gymshark's the brand. You're gonna go buy Gymshark. So you got to kind of like attack it in that way and hit that medium to low level tiers and niche markets first. And it's hard to find sometimes, but you do the legwork. That's why I'm talking about the FAFO. If you just sit in the gym long enough, you'll pick up fighting. Like, you sit there and watch, you'll figure it out. So just doing the hours, doing the legwork, it was good.
One of the videos you talked about how you did $1 million in revenue with less than 10,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I'm genuinely curious because you have all these social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok now, right? All that stuff.
Yeah.
Why did you use Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah. Because I was on there personally just because I love the esoteric health stuff. So all the health trends you see now stem from Twitter. Okay. It's like Twitter is like 5 years ahead of the game. Like there's so many things that come and go through Twitter first, and then they pop off years later, like peptides. Twitter. Seed oil's bad. Twitter. Blue light bad. Twitter. The sun's good for you. Twitter. These are all just like crazy esoteric things on Twitter. Like now it's like Ray Pete's kind of big on Twitter, so you'll start seeing that more coming around. But there's just like cool trends on there. So I was just on there already and active, and just like, you know, I said, just sitting in the gym, watching and seeing and learning. And then so it was easy for me to post there. And so that's where we garnered our affiliates. That's where I posted there. And like the other thing I realized after affiliate marketing was like, well, if I'm my own affiliate, I save 20%. So I became the biggest affiliate for Meraki, my own brand, by going viral. And I did it through education posts, and Twitter is a great platform for that, you know? So you gotta know your market, you gotta know where you're at too. You know, you don't wanna be hitting the Dougie during a rave. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like, which I'm notorious for. But my thing is like, you gotta know your market. If I'm on Instagram, it's hard to be educational. You gotta be a little bit entertaining as well. You know, It's very done up. If you're on Reddit, you know, so you speak different there. If you're a mommy blogger, you hit that. There's so many niche markets. You just gotta speak their language. So
that's so money, because that's where, like, I look at it when people get into e-commerce, building brands, like we talked about earlier. You said building brands. A lot of people bitch and go, I don't have money to boost an ad. I don't have money to pay for advertising, paid ads, all that stuff. And you're like, bro, I did it organically.
Yeah.
Like, you said you were in debt building all these other products. Like, if you had money to do paid ads, would you have? Or you go, nah, hell no. The way I did it was the best way, and I would do it all over again that way too.
Man, I mean, I have money now, so we're starting brands with paid ads, and it's easier, of course. But I think you need to learn, because it teaches you how to market better. Right. You know, because I need to convince you that your $30 is infant, like so small compared to the value I'm gonna bring you with my product. And it teaches you business on that level where you go, okay, like, what am I doing? I'm garnering attention. I'm convincing someone of this, you know, and how do you do it? And there's so many ways to market. It's so crazy, especially in paid ads. But if you have a zero, like you'll see people are so tone deaf, you know, and they just like have no marketing ability whatsoever because they're just not paying attention. And I think that's what it is. Like, you're trying to get attention. Attention is currency. If you can garner attention, you can garner currency. How do you get attention? You pay attention. And like, that's basically my MO, is like finding the trends that are going on and then using it to then actually facilitate a sale for my company, which is like, all I need to do is convince people that this product's good for them. How do we do it? And how do I get their attention in the first place? How do I get them to sit down and even want to listen to it? And so you won't learn that if you just jump straight into paid ads. Maybe you will, because you'll have better reach, but you'll know it's working, because paid ads, you're paying for those eyeballs if you can get the eyeballs organically. So it's more true. It's better. I think it's the hard way up the mountain, the long route, but it's definitely like the more scenic route that's better for you in the long run.
It's better for you because a lot of these people, what they do when they do paid ads is they hire agencies.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just burn through money.
Exactly.
Because number one, they don't know your product. And number two, like, you should actually learn how to do yourself, but you didn't because you didn't do it the organic way, right? And so it's like, I watch people blow through advertising budgets all the time because they simply don't want to learn.
Exactly. And like, it's not, I mean, it takes time, but like, if you're going to pay an agency, at least watch them. You know what I mean? Because I did the same thing. I'm telling you through Meraki. So the other businesses I run are media buying now, because I was like, like our pet supplement brand, I'm 100% the media buyer, because I was like, I want to learn the other intricacies. And there's so many things I missed that I didn't even realize. Right. But as long as your fundamentals are right, and that's the thing, we're learning fundamentals, the basics, which is marketing, then you can do paid ads, you know? But if you just hire an agency to do your paid ads and like you make an awesome product, you're missing such a huge gap still. And it's like the coolest thing that I learned in fighting is basics and advanced. Like when you're talking about techniques, all that means, all you're saying is basics are things that have a high probability of working. And so when you learn the basics in marketing and business, it's like, okay, you're learning the things that have the highest chance of success. So you stick to the basics with it and like organically market. That's the easiest way.
Dude, I was so impressed listening to you talk about this, because how long have you had Meraki now?
3 years.
3 years. 4 years ago, did you think conceptually, business-wise, on this level?
No, fuck no.
So like, I say this because so many people look at the finished product.
Yeah.
And they didn't see you digging your head in, you know, YouTube and podcasting and all that stuff, learning about business education, studying hormozy and all that stuff. It's fascinating because you said I was studying marketing, all this stuff for 3 years. I go, yeah, dude, you got a YouTube university in marketing and business in the course of 3 years. You became an overnight success, but you put the work in for like 3-4 years.
Correct, yeah.
And that's the problem that I have with today's generation is like, you launch a product, you do something, and it doesn't hit right away, and you're like, it's a fail.
Yeah.
How long did it take for Meraki to actually hit? And like, you see results to the point where you can go, this is no longer a side hustle. I'm walking away from construction to do this full time. How long did that take?
It was about 6 months, which is, the thing was, and like, it's funny that I made that my goal, that don't sprint to, you know, a goal like march to greatness. I was ready for 10 years of work, because fighting, it took years before you see anything whatsoever, you know, years of just getting the shit beat out of you at gym. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this in business now. And 6 months later, we were already like profitable and running. And I did everything. I wore every hat. I made the products myself. I built my website. I did my email flows. Like, I did everything. So I was so lean that I could be profitable and like make it. But the other side was, I didn't think it was going to blow up as quick as it did. And that's mostly because Methylene Blue works. It's viral, but it's like, it's safe, it's efficacious. People feel it, you know, it's like, it's a very easy value proposition. Like, I'm going to give you this and your life's going to improve. And people who like it, one, it's viral because you get a blue tongue. You like, it's just everything about the product was great. It just needed someone to facilitate it. And so if I was trying to sell a pre-workout, I'd probably still be grinding right now. I wouldn't be on a podcast. It might be profitable by now. It's been 3 years.
And that's what I was going to say is like, you entered into a space that big companies own, big brands own, big influencers own. Like, when you entered into this pre-workout space, were you like, yo, just give me a piece of it? Or were you like, yo, I'm going to come in here and dominate, watch me fuck shit up?
I mean, yeah, but also realistically, I was like, I just need a crumb. Like, one crumb is a million. That's it. Like, all I need. I just want to be able to chase my dreams fighting and not work as much, you know? Like, that was it. That's all I was doing it for. I want to get out of debt. I carried that debt for years, and it was just this fucking blanket on me every morning. I was like, fuck. And like, I'm in debt. My little like family I have is in debt. I need to carry us out of this, you know? And so I just put that stress. I just wanted that stress gone. So it was really out of pain, but I didn't want a lot, you know? I definitely didn't think I'd be where I'm at now. Like, where we are with Rev and freedom and finances, and what I'm doing is just, every day is a fucking dream. Blows my mind. But it also, I was like, whoa, it's a lot easier than people make it out to be. You know what? Simpler than easy. It's not easy, but it's simple.
I want to talk about that because when I grew up, I come from an Asian household, and my mom would always say, money is very hard to earn and very easy to spend. And even though she was a business owner, like, she was very traditional, carried a warehouse lease, and I was like, damn, that was crazy, right? And then I remember when I was in high school, my uncle was like, you know, being a millionaire is very hard. And then when I did it, I was like,
What are you guys even saying?
This shit was not that
Yeah,
difficult.
it's not.
You know what I mean? And I wish people understood that, because we have this saying, it's like you overestimate what you can do in a month, but you underestimate what you can do in a year. And it's like, you put in the work. It was like when you had the result, you're not shocked by it. Like, you're like, I did the work.
Yeah.
You wrote the email copies. You did the website build. You wore every hat as a self-employed entrepreneur does.
Yep.
You're the janitor and you're the CEO as well.
Correct.
And that's where, like, people want perfect, and they want to delegate certain things, which, yeah, when you get big, absolutely. But in the beginning, like, you have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I love that story about it. And I genuinely want to know, right? Like, Napoleon Hill had this quote, and he said, when the riches begin to come, they come so quickly and in such great abundance that one wonders where they have been hiding during all the lean years.
Yeah, exactly.
And you said 6 months. Like, that is so crazy, because technically, in my opinion, I look at it going, nah, dude, it was like 3.5 years.
Yeah.
It showed up in 6 months.
Exactly.
You know?
Sharpen your axe, for 4 hours, chop for one, kind of that.
Correct. And so how much of your business right now is from recurring clientele?
We have about 40% right now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but we're aggressively expanding through Facebook ads as well. So,
because you get them once,
yeah,
half of them are going to retain for a long time, and that's a subscription-based model. That's money.
Correct.
That is freaking awesome.
Yeah, we have a healthy MRR right now. So
yeah. So one of the things I wanted to ask you is, like, a lot of people in your position, right? Athletes, former athletes, and I believe they carry unfair advantages. Like, we've learned things, whether it's combat fighting, whether it's basketball, whatever it is, discipline, hard work, work ethic, all that's like, why do some athletes fear going into business?
Man, I mean, with fighters, I can tell you why. Half of them are stupid or crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's that simple. I get it. Like, you have to be dumb to chase this sport. But I don't know why athletes. Maybe, you know what it is? There's a lot to it. It's a deep one. It's very individual or individualized to the person. But there could be they did the time when they were younger, and now they feel like everything is like they did their work, and you carry it. Like, I did my 10, 13 years of training. Like, I carry that now. I have that skill. You don't get to take that from me. You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, to go and start zero somewhere else and be a rookie again, that's a hard process. A lot of people don't want to be a white belt again. You know what I mean? They think they have it down. It's kind of a nice, good character trait to be able to start from zero again and be fresh about it, I think a lot of athletes don't want to do that. They just like, okay, or they just want to focus on the one thing. And honestly, like, athletes are physical, some are mental, but business is 100% mental.
Right.
It's nuts. You're going to be sitting behind a computer, like, you got this little box in front of you with a gajillion dollars in it. You just got to figure out how to get it out. It's like, you can't just bend it to your will because you're naturally athletic or you worked hard in the gym and you can jump high. You got to think and think and think and think. And that is a whole different energy system.
It's funny because you say, like, nobody wants to start at zero. Like, I'm looking at a bunch of things that we're planning on doing this year as well. And yes, it's a new industry, but I don't feel like I'm at zero, because I'm like, those skill sets translate here. Yep. You know what I mean? And that's why I say that, because I'm like, you like, one of my mentors told me when I was 19, he said, the wealthiest place on earth is in the cemetery. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? Yeah. And he was like, because that's where all the dreams are buried. He goes, that guy, he was a nurse, but he should have been this person. He goes, that person became a plumber, but he could have been this person. Yeah. And you're just like, oh my gosh, like, how many people actually have dreams they don't fulfill because of fear, because of debt, because of time, whatever it may be.
Yep, exactly.
So that's why I'm like, what is your advice to those guys? Because it's like, dude, you only got to get it right once. Yeah. What would you tell those guys that are listening to this pod? Like,
it's easier than you think. You're literally one day away from changing your life. You're one phrase away from changing your life. You're one piece of knowledge away from changing your life. You're 1 month away from starting a business. You're 1 year away from quitting your job. You're one step away. You're so much closer than you think. You just don't even realize it. And if I can do it, you can do it. If you can do it, they can do it. There's already proof. You don't need more proof. You just need action. And like, you're just so much closer than you think. I think that's the best way to frame it for people, so they realize, like, most people don't understand, like, they're literally one streak of luck away from righting every wrong, overcoming every loss, and being a winner. Think about champs. Like, it just takes one champ fight for you to forever be called a champion,
Right.
no matter what. Yeah. No one remembers the losses. They're going to remember that win that you did. Exactly.
So true story. I used to skate when I was in high school or middle school.
Yeah. I still skate. I went and skateboarded like a couple weeks ago. It was fun. Yeah.
I'm listening to your podcast with your best friend Michael,
Yeah.
and you said we need to go study high school or middle school skaters that turn into entrepreneurs and they're all successful. I laugh at that because I genuinely go, when you said that, I was like, I know some of the guys that I work with that they used to skate too, and I'm like, they're crushing it in life. Like, what do you think it was, whether it's for skaters, whether it's for athletes, whatever it is, that gives them that edge?
Dude, that's one I have no idea. I'm lost on, but there is a weird correlation between skateboarding and becoming good in business later.
Do you look at Rob Dyrdek?
Yeah, same thing.
Like all those guys.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. But also, I do know a lot of skateboarding friends who ended up on drugs. So maybe we're just like, we're looking too
We see the
much.
good ones.
Yeah, we're making fake patterns, but yeah, I think there might be a pattern there, and I have no answer for you.
I'm like, the amount of times they eat shit and get back up.
Oh, there's that too.
That's a
sticking with
skill
it.
set.
Yeah, and having fun while doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that for sure.
You know, that's crazy to me because I remember when I was watching, Robin Big and all that stuff. And then I'm like, wait a second, he sold his what company for what? And how many? I'm like, damn, that's fascinating.
Fantasy Factory is so great. Yeah.
But that's the cool part is like, he has fun doing it. Yeah. Right. And all that stuff. And it's like, that's the stuff that I go like, where did you acquire that business knowledge? Yeah. Because like, nobody's born with that.
No.
You know what I mean? And so like, I genuinely am curious, but fun question. What did you spend your first million on?
First big purchase I made was an espresso machine. That motherfucker's still kicking. I love that thing, bro. I've been making espresso. Second thing was an M4 Comp X Drive 2024.
Okay.
I got a steal on it, dude. I got it for $75K. I think
what color was it?
It was burgundy red.
Okay, I bought a white one. I bought an M4 when I made my first million.
Well, that's what I did. And I realized everyone in e-com and business buys a fucking M4. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to, but I did. And so I got away from that. And then I bought a Porsche. I had an X6 and an M4 at one point. It was pretty cool. Other big purchases, a lot of things on health, a lot of things on wellness, a lot of things on education. Those are investments, And then recently I just got the Audi R8 and I love it. Turned in the Porsche and got that. And that's pretty much it. I live like we do fun things. So me and my boys who are like in business with me, we take trips. We go to Utah, we go shoot guns, play airsoft in the woods, go snowboarding, a lot of fun stuff. We did one Miami trip. We were like, we don't like bottle service. We're done with this shit.
Yep.
Like we all want family. So we do good old boy stuff. And it's like, man, those experiences are priceless to me. So yeah. And then just investing in new businesses now. The goal is I want $100 million in exits before the time I'm 36.
How old are you now?
32.
Okay.
I'm on track. So,
definitely.
yeah, we're doing good.
I want to piggyback on that, right? So like, all my mentors told me your first million, you're going to do some stupid shit with it. It is what it is.
That's what he said.
And they're like, but the second, that's where you don't buy that watch again. You don't have to buy another car again. You don't have to buy another house again. So like you actually can probably spend that money more properly. And you said investments. What are some things that you put money in that actually return that you're like, holy shit, that actually worked out and my life is better because of it?
Education.
Yep.
9 times out of 10. Whether it's a coach, whether it's mentor, whether it's a program, a Facebook ads fucking thing. Alex Hormozi's acquisition group I did. It's like even if you don't learn anything technical, just the vibe of it and there's always something you'll get out of it. And every single time I've 10x, like just by spending the money and getting a coach. I learned this in fighting. I got a high level nutritionist to help me cut weight for my first title fight. And it was the best thing ever. It taught me so much and just things like that. So I would say education nonstop.
It's funny you say that because people are cheap in education because they go, I can just go watch that on YouTube. And I go, yeah, that's the free shit.
Yeah.
Like there's stuff behind that that's so much better that you wouldn't even understand, right? And you said hiring a coach. It's like, that's the thing that I'm always like, I've learned really quickly in life, like I have a saying, like you either pay for experience or you pay for experience. And what that means is like you pay physical money for a coach or you lose a lot of money and you go, don't do that again, right? And it's like, I'm like, dude, if someone's going to save me time, I'm in.
Yep.
So I love that you say that because one of the questions I was going to ask you is like, you said, okay, I studied Hormozi. Like when you're in debt and all that stuff, you're like, man, I want to buy that course, but I can't or whatever it is. When did you start doing the seminars, the courses, the books? Like the whole coaching programs. When did that enter your realm?
I mean, I was already, like I said, buying coaching stuff, but in the beginning I couldn't afford it. So I did all the free stuff I could. And as soon as I had a little bit of money, I think the first course I bought was Sabre Sube's course. I don't remember the name of it. It was all right, you know, and like it was cool. It was worth it. I learned a little bit, just a little there. And then buying Alex Hormozi's books. I mean, dude, he gives out so much free shit. It's so easy.
His free shit is like better than most people's paid shit.
Exactly, yeah. And that's part of it, though. It's like how you get, you know.
Right, that's his marketing.
You give, yeah. And then from there, it was just like, man, just always just paying for the best that I could at that point. So once I had the money, it never was like, oh, damn, do I want to write this check? I even have a buddy in business too, and he was like, I don't know, like I feel like you just do it. And I was like, dude, shut up, write the check.
Right.
And every time he does it, he's just like, yeah, it's amazing. So I did it pretty early on, even before business. So I was never adverse to it.
It's funny because like that's where we say in our business, like cheap doesn't look good on anybody.
Correct.
You know, and it's like, especially when it comes to education and systems and processes and all that. So
yeah.
Here's a question that I want to ask you. It's like, it's more fighting, but I want to know how it translates in business. Like, how do you find that extra gear? You're exhausted, you're burnt out, you're like, bro, I'm fucking tired.
Oof.
And then you go, but there's still a minute left on the clock. Like, I still got to make payroll. I still got to do these things. Like, how do you find that extra gear?
I mean, one of the easiest ways is have fun with it. If you can have fun, you always have that. Your nervous system's wired, and I mean, this is like deep more on the performance side of things, but your nervous system's wired for reward systems. So it's like, if you're doing something, you don't see the reward for it, you're not going to move for it. But if you tell yourself like you're doing this for this reason, and it's fun and you enjoy it, and I love being here, and you have that self-talk and your subconscious goes, yeah, we love this. Then you turn the pain into pleasure, but also the pain. It's just like carrying that debt sucked. Like, so of course I was going to work my ass off. I was never good at sports. High school, I got made fun of, middle school for it. I loved fighting. It was my passion. So I wanted to be better. I was proving shit to everyone. So it was like, there was always pain involved. And that's what like really like drove me to do the extra shit and like spend the extra mile. My last loss as an amateur was when I literally had a come to Jesus moment, and we just doubled the work ethic. And then I won 2 titles, made a professional run. And now I'm not where I'm at because of that, because I lost the fight. And it was just like losing. So pain is a great motivator for
right.
sure. Yeah.
But how long can someone live in pain, right? Because I asked that because I killed it in business because I had a chip on the shoulder.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
And then it's like, but it's so toxic sometimes to live in negativity. So like, do you have a place in your business where you go, now I'm operating out of purpose and love, not out of proving people wrong?
Yeah, and I don't think it's a switch, it's a dial. You know, some days I wake up and I'm like, fuck you guys, watch this. You know what I mean? Like, did you forget about me? Did you forget? Did you forget the success story? Like I was like, oh, that happened once, watch this again, watch it again. So I do that, like starting my new businesses, a little bit of that. But it's also like, yeah, it's like your passion too, you know, and love. They're all together at the same time. It's not this or that, you know. I try not to get to like the psychology behind shit a lot of times. I just like dumb it down, just fucking do the work, you know?
Right.
So not to like be so like, oh, what's the purpose and this, and I have burnout. It's like also not like labeling things. Like you give it a name, you give it power.
You believe it. Yeah, absolutely.
So people say burnout, you know, it's like one of the best phrases in fighting. Someone told me, they're like, you're not overtrained, you're under recovered. I was like, oh fuck, all right, that makes sense.
Damn,
yeah.
That is good.
So you just change the wording even, like, you know, it's like you look at things differently. Your mind is the most powerful thing.
Absolutely.
So
how do you train for your mind?
Oof, Muhammad Ali was the best thing that ever happened to me. I watched this guy. I say he was a great. And I was born a bitch. I'm a pussy at heart. It's funny. Like you would never know it, but I overcame a lot. I was scared my whole life growing up. I don't know if it's because I had a big angry dad who yelled and swung or what, but like I just didn't like conflict. I didn't like challenging myself. I was the kid who was always scared to jump off the high dive in anything. And eventually I just got tired of it too. But I remember watching Muhammad Ali and do the affirmations, and he would just nonstop. And so I was like, well, let me give this a run. And I watched this video too. It's actually a great one. I'll actually explain it out. It's worth the time. But you can do this drill where you can close your eyes and you can imagine a lemon. And what you'll do is you close your eyes, you're picturing this lemon on a tree on a sunny day, and it's like so juicy, and it's like wet, like a lemon commercial, like drips of water over it, and you pluck it. And you can feel the juice in the lemon, almost like a water balloon. And then picture cutting that lemon. As you're cutting it, like that juice is seeping out. And you cut it into quarters. And now imagine taking that juicy lemon with like just juice dripping and the acidity of it and everything, and you shove it in your mouth and you start chewing it. And as you chew that lemon in your mind, like picture the pulp, the rind, the juice, everything. And like you're chewing through it and the juice dripping down your face, and like you're swallowing the lemon. You go grab another one. And if you do it and you close your eyes and you really visualize it and you stop, and I ask you right now, is your mouth watering? Your mouth is watering. Well, once you understand that your conscious mind knows that you're not eating a lemon, you're imagining it, and we're sitting here in a podcast room talking about it, your subconscious mind doesn't know it's really fake.
Correct.
And it literally thought you were eating a lemon. Now here's the kicker. Your subconscious mind is so powerful, it just caused a bodily reaction to digest a fake lemon. So imagine what happens when you sit around all day thinking bad thoughts.
Right.
So you have to consciously, it's simple, but it's not easy, tell yourself good thoughts. So for a huge chunk of like a couple months, I was just like, I'm the greatest, I'm the best, I got this, I got this, I got this. And you'll notice it slowly where you're working out, and instead of being like, fuck, this is rough, you're like, fuck, I do rough things. Vance is good, Vance got this. And you start talking to yourself and you start doing more. And you get tangible results just off changing your language. But I remember the day it all changed when I woke up and I was like, whoa, I got this, was I had a dream. And every dream my whole life, I was fighting or running or anything, I'd fall over and like you're trying to punch and you can't punch. I had a dream, I got in a fight and beat the shit out of this guy. And I woke up and I was like, my subconscious believes I'm dangerous now, finally. Because I was so scared of fighting, I was so scared of everything. I remember like my first fight, the nerves were just ridiculous. I was 19, fought a 32-year-old, it was just insane. And so once you learn how to program that subconscious mind like that, like everything's possible now. Your mind is the biggest barrier. It's the biggest limit that you'll ever have. Now, obviously, there's tangibles and you have to do things, and it's not like necessary, but it will 10x your life 100%. I know people that just off their mindset and their mentality, and they believe they deserve more, they usually get more. It's because they won't settle and they just play bigger games and play smarter games compared to people that might have the tools and the resources, but mentally, like, money's hard to make. That first million, it's crazy to be a millionaire. You know, it's like you watch them play small. They'll never take big swings, so they don't think it's possible.
What do you think the difference is between someone that fights at an amateur level, semi-pro level, to like main stage, main event? Like you look at their physique, body, size, muscle mass, whatever, all the same. Why is one dude on the main stage and the other ones aren't?
There's a lot to this too. There's the identity. First off, I am a champion, the composure, the tangibles outside of that. And then there is a great saying I learned in football. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. Well, offense wins fights, defense wins belts. That's a fact. Look at Floyd. Look at every champ ever.
That was so good.
Yeah. And you'll watch amateurs beat the fuck out of each other. Bro, everyone swing wild, and go nuts. How defensively sound are you? And that's where you're going to get hit. You're going to get wet in a fight. Can you swim in deep water? And so they just have that extra gear. They have the better training to become that elite. They have that mindset, and they truly they're comfy in there. You know what I mean? And they do everything right. And then with fighting specifically, there's 3 things that you need. It's like there's most things in life. It's like anything. Nothing can stand with 2 wheels or 2 legs, but they can stand with 3. Like a chair, you need a 3rd leg for it to stand. So that's why the Gracie symbol is a triangle. Not get too fight specific, but maybe you can pull some out of this and put it in your life or business. But there's 3 aspects to fighting. You have to be a martial artist, you have to be a fighter, and you have to be an athlete. And most fighters have 1 or 2. Champions have all 3. They're martial artists, they're good, they have perfectly sound technique, they're ready to go. They're an athlete, they have force production, they can change direction quickly, they have a gas tank, and then they're a fighter. You hit them in the face and they don't shatter. They're down for a scuffle. So there's all that. So there's a lot to it.
That's funny, man. Yeah. That is so good. Did you ever make any mistakes in business that almost cost you to close shop?
There was never, fatality is a mentality, and I will never fucking ever. But yes, we've been close. I would never close, but we've had some fucking
close calls.
The move. I didn't do a trademark search, and there's a company in Denmark with the Meraki trademark for cosmetics, and they hit me with a cease and desist. Tried to play ball, they don't want to play ball.
In Denmark?
Yeah, fucking Denmark. They only sell in America. They have a U.S. TPO.
Oh wow.
So that's why I said when Trump was talking about taking Greenland or whatever, and Denmark was throwing a fit, I was like, fucking fucking get him, my guy, fucking get him. I was like, we're coming. But no, like all jokes aside, that was $240,000 of revenue a month. It's been over 6 months, 7 months, $1 million problem. Wow. No big deal. It sucks, but you just find a way.
You just move on.
The first big mistake we had, this was the one that kept me up at night, was we had our second affiliate post ever. My buddy Noah Ryan posted our tallow balm. We made tallow in winter. Everything was good. He posted, we did 30K of sales in a day, about 10K the next day. So about 40K in sales, most money I've ever seen in my life in a day. I was like, holy shit. And summer just hit and all of our bombs melted in transit. I netted zero off this. So my first time ever making crazy money, and then my first time losing it all. So I started with ice packs in the mailers. I started shipping them later. I'd send people 4, 5, 6 tallow bombs, trying to get it right, you know, doing emails, like 50 emails a day, like, oh, I'll get it, it's covered. Until I finally found a leak-proof jar, you know, and got it ordered. And like, man, it was just, I was having dreams every night of me solving the problem. It was crazy. But that was like the first big, like, yeah, boom, hammered. Welcome back to reality. So, but we have issues like that all the time.
So like sending them multiple jars, how well did your customers respond when you went above and beyond?
Oh, they loved it. Yeah. And that's the other thing is like, that's missing nowadays is people love authenticity and they want that 1950s customer service. And that's what we're trying to give right now. So we're like really, that's our main focus this month is like we're getting the business a little bit leaner in some areas, but we're investing in customer service because that's like such make or break. And at the end of the day, it is like someone with a higher social EQ and emotional EQ will do better than someone with a high IQ in business.
Always.
So just understanding like we're dealing with it's person to person. It's players, person to person. Like how you treat people is how they're going to remember. It's like a girl, man. She doesn't care who you are. She cares about how she feels when she's with you. So how does this person, they don't care what you sell. They care about how they feel by taking or buying your product, you know? Right. You understand that? It's like, well, then treat them right, you know? So we do shit above and beyond all the time. We're running an ad right now because 2 weeks ago, a guy hit me up and he was, his order got lost not once, but twice by USPS. I don't think we've ever had this happen where 2 orders got lost and they're texting me and I'm still responding to customer service texts.
Wow.
So I have 1,000 text messages. My phone's bonkers. And then I'm responding to him trying to solve the problem. And I was like, fuck it, where do you live? He's like, St. George. I'm driving you your order right now.
Wow.
Whatever. So I drove him his order. And then we filmed it, of course, turned into an ad. But to show people like, we'll go above and beyond. So every now and then I'll land in a city and I'll pull it up and see, hey, did someone order in the city? And I'll go hand deliver their order. So I'm doing shit like that. Just going above and beyond, just personal shit, you know?
That's freaking great. You start doing, like I've seen a lot of your ads and I've seen a lot of your content, and you're pretty damn good on camera. Obviously, that was not day one.
No.
How did you get over the fear of being in front of a camera? Because that's what everybody bitches about. Like when we run our sales agency, we're like, yo, get on camera, like recruit people, you know, talk about your product, whatever it is. And they're like, dude, I'm just not good at it. Yeah. Right. So like, how did you get over that fear to be able to get so good at what you do now?
A few things. Well, so I wanted to be a streamer. So I streamed video games for a little bit.
Okay.
Unsuccessfully, but taught me how to be on camera, hold attention, hold an audience, you know. And then I started vlogging, fight stuff. I didn't think it would blow up and it didn't, but I wanted to have memories. I was like, let's just vlog. And I love watching vloggers. I was like, why am I going to watch? I want to create. I'm a creator, not a consumer. And so I was always in front of camera. And then another thing too is, it was crazy, but it's just so funny, is I was very insecure in my voice. I had a nasally voice. And, so I remember trying to work on my speech a lot, but I got sick like 2 years ago and my vocal cords changed forever. It was like it damaged my voice. And then so I had to relearn how to speak. So I would do hours of me speaking, just monologuing while I'm driving home on my voice recording voice notes and then listen back. Because I would do a podcast and beyond, I didn't like the way my voice sounded. I would say you know, and I probably did it on this one a few times, but once you become aware of it and then you can kill the monster, you know?
Right.
So, you know, that's another one that I always did. So now I'm doing it and hyper aware, but I did hours of recording my own voice, hours of me in front of a camera, talking, filming, and then playing it back with critique. Like, what's going on here? You're saying this. Why are you saying this? Because you don't know what to say after. Yep.
I love it.
Reps. It's just drills pay the bills. Drills make the skills. Skills pay the bills. Drill, rep. You learn that in fighting. You learn it in sales. Just drill.
I love it. If you can go talk to your 10-year-old self, knowing what you know now, what is that conversation like?
Fuck out and hug him and just be like, you have no idea what's coming. Because that kid was scared. That kid was a bitch. That kid was just like, felt not seen. It was just like, but he needs to go through it. You know, so I'd be like, hey, buddy, Bubba, buckle up. But it's going to be a fun ride in the end, you know, and you're playing the right game. So that's it. There'd be nothing I'd say other than just have faith, you know. But even then, like, you got to go through those dark tunnels with no light at the end for you to appreciate that light, you know. So
reversing that question, if you, on your deathbed, looking back, talking to your family, whatever it is, what do you want to be remembered for?
Fuck. I'm a good man in a lot of areas. I'm a good business owner. I'm a good fighter. I'm a great fighter. I'm a good partner. Like, I'm a good friend. I think I'm maybe being a little modest in a few areas, but I'm good. I want to be great. I want people to say he was a great husband. He was a great father. He was a great fighter. He's a great athlete. He's a great business owner. I want to be a great. Alexander the Great's a big inspiration. How the fuck do you get the name The Great, you know? So for me, good's just not good enough. I want to be great. And so I would love it if people remembered me for being more giving than taking, which is actually how I got this far, is by giving, being a great, being, you know, and then devoted to faith. And like, I mean, this coming out like in a couple weeks, right? So like this, like my thumb was sideways 2 days ago. It's in so much pain. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to fight this weekend. Just being very honest, we have no idea, but I just know there's a motherfucker who can pull this off. It's me. So we're going to do whatever we can do to get me ready. If I can fight this weekend, I know I can pull this off. So it's just like, I want to be known for that kind of shit. Like, you call that man when you need shit done, and he'll get it done. He's a man of his word, and he's a great man. So that's all. Just want to be a great man.
Vance Elrod, everybody. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking time out your day, man. I'm excited to be able to see what's going to happen in the next couple of years.
Appreciate you.
Genuinely, I'm rooting for you, and that $100 million exit is definitely happening. Without a doubt.
Yeah. If there's anyone that can do it.
It's definitely going to be you. So
I
appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.